Hi. It's me. Anyways, we're not going to do that. So, it's been a few weeks. I have been driving more often now, so I'm really excited about that. I really do love doing this. This is super fun. It's not perfect, but it's super fun. Okay, so we have a new app, and now that I've driven around, I can share my opinion about it. There are a ton of other videos about the app. They explain it, they show it, and all that. So that's what those people do. Me, I'm going to tell you my number one, the only thing I'm going to talk about because I ramble and I like to talk and go on tangents. So we're not going to do that today because I've already, done that. So on it. Is I have more navigation errors on this app than the previous app. And I don't know why, but I do have a lot of more connection errors as well. And I get navigation errors constantly. So maybe 20 to 40% of the time I will get a navigation error. So I usually will get a navigation error most commonly after I picked up the food, which is like the worst time to have a navigation error. So, but that happens. And so I'm gonna share. So if this is something that you experience, I'm gonna share how all of this is unraveled and then how I handle it. Because if you have this issue or if you come up with this issue, this is something that is very important, obviously, and there's just one way to solve it. So with any tips and tricks or anything like that, every person is a unique individual, and some of these, it's very important to try multiple things. So what I do may not work for other people, certain other people, whereas certain people will actually, this will work out really great for them. So it's up to you to decide what works best for you, and that's essential for this job. So problem solving. Okay, so when we got the new app, I was having issues with processing my trips. Or the app was, or the system was, and it wasn't just me, it was a lot of other people, and it happened last week. And the reason why I bring that up is because the other days I wasn't being very consistent. I'd work a day here or work a day there, so it wasn't very consistent. So it's really hard for me to have made any sort of opinion or idea about the new app when you work like 3 hours here and there. So, but last week there was a lot of processing problems, and I decided that this is the time that I'm going to get consistent. So, there's that. So, a trip didn't process, and I just stopped. It was the end of my time that I wanted to work, so it was it. The next day was still processing. Like I said, other people were having processing trip issues as well, but theirs was getting solved. Mine never got solved. So at that time. So I decided, well, maybe if I go back online and I start working, it will kind of solve itself. So I went out, I did one trip. The trip didn't even show up. Sometimes it lags, and I'm going to get to that. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just wait for a minute. And another trip came through. So I accepted it because I have a problem. So I did that trip. When I pick up the food, navigation error. I wasn't picking up anything, and on top of it is raining super hard. Like, you couldn't really see out of your windshield, even with the wipers going really fast. Like, it was just really hard. We had flash flooding warnings. It was just really bad. So you had to drive really careful and everything, and then on top of it, I'm having navigation errors. And then how I handle my navigation errors is I just start driving towards the red, the red little marker. I just start driving in that direction because every person has skills that benefit them and skills that harm them. And one of the skills that benefit me, especially in this job, is that I have a really good sense of direction, which I don't know if that's I forget. Anyways, tangent. I'm going to not be on that tangent. So I have a really good sense of direction, and that's because I like driving in different directions in different ways. I like to take different streets home or different routes when I go shopping. I just really like doing that because I understand my community a lot better. I know how to get around a lot more efficiently in case if there's an accident or, street stuff, and I don't have to necessarily follow the whole detour with like the whole caravan of vehicles. I can kind of like go faster on another street. So I think that's one of the reasons why this job works out really great for me. But like I said, I do have a pretty good sense of direction. So I usually just start driving in the direction of the little red marker, and then by the time I'm halfway there, navigation is working. The problem with this though is it's raining cats and dogs. Navigation it came through, but then I see that there's no address, and I'm like, great. Am I even going in the right direction? You have to worry about that. So if you don't have an address in the app, the marker may be off. Excuse me. And that happens. If the address, the marker will not be where the person actually is. So it's critical to stop driving, because my opinion is that if you need directions or you don't know where you're going, just stop your vehicle. Not everyone does this, but this is me. So I just pulled over and I got shelter at a gas station, with those like big like things. And I call and I text, and it was difficult. But eventually she got back to me, the customer, and I explained to her I didn't even have an address in. It was kind of crazy because I think it's because like her boyfriend or husband or someone, they did the order and they just didn't enter it. So I've complained to Uber already about all of this because this is not my first order without an address. There's a problem. So they know about the situation, they say. I don't know. It's been going on for months. So with me specifically. So I don't know about other people, but for me, too long. Yeah. So anyways, so I got there. But when I finished it, she was also having a difficult time seeing me on the app, and I just thought the app was screwy. And so after I dropped off, I decided to uninstall and reinstall the app. And the reason why I decided to do that is because I am part of, I think it's 3 Facebook groups, and in there people were having problems as well with processing and all this other stuff. And someone they recommended to uninstall and reinstall the app. So these are just some troubleshooting measures for the app. All drivers should know them. So when you're having an issue with the app, the first thing you want to do is you want to close it out and reopen it. Usually about, I would say 95 to like 97% of the time, the app will solve itself just doing that, closing out and reopening. Sometimes you have to, one time it wasn't working and I actually had to force shut down my phone and turn it back on, and everything started re-going, and that worked as well. But I would not recommend that. I would recommend that only if your phone's not responding. And I only also did that because I had food with me. So it was kind of an emergency situation, I felt. And so if you do that once in a while with the phone, I don't think it's going to cause like a huge big deal. So as long as it doesn't become a reoccurring issue. And I haven't ever had to do that ever again, and that was months and months ago. So like months and months, like I've been driving forever, right? So then the last thing you want to, before shutting down, is uninstall and reinstall the app on your phone. This should solve most issues from what I understand, but when I did it, something happened that I did not expect, and it was not told. And I'm not sure if everyone experiences this, but when I reinstalled and relogged in, it took me back to the old app, which first of all freaked me out. And then second of all, my trips still weren't there. None of them. So it showed 0 trips ran today. And the one from the previous day I think it was still processing. And I was like, none of this is helping me. I think I may have screwed this up even more. So I was offline, of course. when I did all of this already. So I went to the green light hub. It was pretty busy, and I waited a little longer than normal. And by the time that I got seen, guess what? It solved itself. So Uber knows all about this. They know that this is an issue and all of that, but I really wanted to share this with anyone out there that may run into the same issue, because this is something that I didn't know. And so if you have a glitch with your app and you reinstall your app on your phone, this may happen. It's completely normal, but give yourself some time. Do it on, when you're eating or taking a break or something like that, or on a day that you're not working, or when you're at like your day job or something. So I'm just sharing this because I didn't know, and I wish I knew, because it would have saved me some time, because I was really close to home and not to the green light hub. So it all worked out, and so there's that. I do have a few other things that I really want to share, but I'm not going to share it in this video. I'm going to share it in my next video, and it's just going to be some recommendations and some experiences that I've been having. I think that might be helpful. How I handled certain situations that I come across pretty frequently, and just my opinion on advice and how advice should be handled. So I think I may have already shared all of this, or like those ideas, but I'm going to keep resharing just because I don't have a lot of followers or anything. And yeah, leave me some feedback. Let me know what you think. I am in the DFW area. I'm doing this to better myself and to connect to people and to help people make a better informed decision if they want to do this. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm really grateful that I do have the opportunity to do this, and I mean, all that. So if you have any concerns or any questions, because I'm going to make a video, I have some notes already. This just is too long now, so, and I'm going to just work on those, and then I'll make a video. So maybe early next week I'll post it. So I'll talk to you next week. Have a great weekend.